Go Penn State.
Do no cursing in the pod.
Raw, authentic.
Yeah.
Up.
And that's
I'm Adam Brenneman.
This is
Next up. Wild. Next up.
we are California. Finally had it. Finally had it.
It's been 3 months in the making.
Yeah.
We're finally here. And you probably can't get better Airbnb.
This area.
Literally what? I met you in May.
Yeah, dude, I'm excited to have you here. I've been wanting to do this for a while with you. We've been trying to collab for a minute. We talked like 3 months ago about doing something at the Rose Bowl together. That was when Penn State wasn't even officially in the Rose Bowl, but I was telling you,
I was like, I don't know. I was like,
Penn State's going to go to the Rose Bowl, and but now here we are, and as we're walking in, and you're sipping that Red Bull, I don't know if there's a better representation of you as a person than sitting here at 6 o'clock at night, and you're sipping a Red Bull when we're about to go on a podcast, because that's like you as a person. You are like a 24/7 dude who's sipping a Red Bull because you have energy all the time. I want to start with this. Your life has changed so much in the last 6 months, maybe even less than that, maybe last
like
3
4
months.
months.
4 months.
Late August.
Take me through, not necessarily the pieces of how you got there, but take me through the emotional roller coaster of the last 4 months of your life.
It all started just betting on myself. My whole life, I've worked for other people, which is great because I got real work experience, real experience in like the real world while balancing my academics. But I've always just wanted to have an impact on society, like a positive impact on society. And, once I decided to just go all into myself, I started traveling to universities, having random students come up to me in Blacksburg, Virginia. I'm going to a Virginia Tech hockey game against West Virginia to go see my best friend play. Nick Galley plays tight end there. Yeah. And I'm walking, and I literally get on campus, and I go to a gym, and I have people swarming me.
Was that the first time that you realized, like, oh, I'm viral? Like, everyone knows who I am. Was that the first moment it hit you?
Yeah, because so I knew I went viral like at Penn State. I was very well known in the Penn State community. But once I went to Blacksburg, Virginia, and I had people coming up to me left and right, I knew that like there is something special in front of me. I need to put just step on that gas pedal and just go for it. Yeah. And from Blacksburg, Virginia, after that trip, I remember I came home, called one of my mentors, and I was just explaining to him everything that went on in Blacksburg, how all these students were coming up to me, taking selfies with me. I couldn't even walk to a tailgate without swarms of students coming up to me. And I explained that to him. He's like, Brad, you need to go to another university. Yeah. Because you have to think about it. If I just stayed at Penn State and wasn't really going on these trips, I really wouldn't have expanded my brand at these other schools and really put myself out there, because it's so important to build a community is like engaging with your fans and people that enjoy your content. So when he told me, he's like, Brad, you got to go to another university. I called my best friend at Indiana. I'm like, yo, I'm coming this weekend. Book a flight to Indiana, go to Indiana. Same thing happened. I walk on that campus. I'm walking downtown. Swarms of students coming up to me, wanting to take pictures, talk to me, pick my brain apart, ask for motivation, ask, hey, yo, Brad, this is going on in my class right now. What's some advice that you would give me? And every person that would come up to me, I would engage with and talk with them. And then after Indiana, I end up going to Kentucky. Will didn't end up playing that game. It was against South Carolina. But I go to Kentucky. Same thing happened. Every student coming up to me. And it was just so like heartwarming. Like, I don't care about the followers, like none of that. It's just the actual impact that I'm having and the kind messages that I'm getting from people saying that I'm truly having a positive impact on their life and that I'm inspiring them and motivating them to go after what they want.
Yeah. I saw it in person when I was with you at Penn State. What was that? Maryland? Oh, Ohio State.
Ohio State. Yep. Ohio State.
And I mean, I remember talking to our video guys I was with, Chris and Stevie, and I was like, I thought that I got recognized a decent amount at Penn State. Like, and then I was with you, and I was like, it's like every single person comes up to you asking for pictures that you can't even go out in public. You can't even really go out at Penn State, which is nuts. And it just is crazy to me because when I met you, I was at State College in May interviewing Sean Clifford for my podcast. And you were working for Sean at that point for his NIL company, Limitless. You were, I remember you came up, I remember Sean saying, you have to meet this Brad Kraut guy, like he's gonna be big time. And I was kind of like in my zone, like trying to focus on the podcast. And I was like, all right, I'll meet this guy. And you like come over and bro, and I remember you were like, just like you do, you were talking 1,000,000 miles an hour. You were like all fired up and you're like, dude, I swear I'm gonna change the world. And I was like, dude, this guy is nuts. And then we became friends and it's been funny just to, or not funny, but like, it's been motivational to watch your success and like how fast it's happened and then how you've handled it. And I think the best part is that it is a positive message that your whole thing's built around, you know, jumping out of bed in the morning and living a positive life and working hard and doing well in school. Where did that, like, why did you decide for that to be your message, the kick the sheets? Like, where did that come from? Because you've been doing that for a while, right? And
it was really since like last January was when I started the whole kick the sheets movement, but it didn't like, everything didn't really happen until like sophomore year summer was when my life made a huge like 360 and I started to mature. Basically what happened was there's a lot of negative and toxic people in my life and I was always out there. I always put myself out there. I was always posting on social media. Like I think I made a Facebook page in 4th grade. Like I was already on social media since 4th grade. Just always posting. And then my sophomore year summer, I end up joining the cheer team and I'm in a fraternity at Penn State and a lot of the kids didn't like that I joined the cheer team. And for me, I just thought joining the cheer team was an unreal opportunity. It was putting myself definitely in an uncomfortable situation of, you know, now I'm gonna be in front of 110,000 people throwing girls up in the air. Like there's a lot of pressure just like being on the field, like being on the cheer team. But it was just like an unreal experience. But that summer when I decided to, hey, I'm going all in with the cheer, I just started kind of getting like negative comments towards me for doing this. And then also on the flip side, my content was really weird. Like my TikToks were like super.
Like what? What were you doing?
I was trying to be someone who I wasn't. I was trying to like do these dancing trends and do these like weird like videos just to try to go viral for no reason. Where in reality, if like I were to go like there's nothing that actually, there's no substance in that content. Yeah. And kids were making fun of me and they were not frowned upon of me creating this content. And from that point, I just couldn't take it anymore. I just couldn't take all these negative comments one after another in the group me's and the chats making fun of me. And I was like, you know what? Like for me, I take negative reinforcement, I use it as motivation. So all these kids wanted to talk behind my back, not even behind my back, just talk right in front of me. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna just leave every chat and focus on myself. And a lot of people, like even my whole life, I've always listened to motivational speakers. They always talk about, hey, if you like want to make it or make that next step in your life, you're gonna have to sacrifice. Yeah. You will have to sacrifice. And what I did, I just went lone wolf. People always talk about going lone wolf. I am someone that always wants to be at every event with my friends. I want to be there. But that summer, I decided, you know what? Let's make a change in my life. Like it's time. Like the time is now. And for people watching, like if you're trying to go after your dreams or whatever you're trying to achieve, don't wait for anything. Like do it, start today, start now. So many people want to wait to have the right camera setup or the right, it's like, no, like you have a phone or whatever, like go and do it now. And when I decided to like do that, it just, I was working, I was getting up at 5 a.m. then. I was going to, I was coaching group fitness classes in the morning. Then I was doing my own Brad camp where I was like at a camp with 4th to 6th graders, literally like coaching them up, like running them through camps. Yeah. And then I was going all in on fitness content at the time. And I would travel to a gym 50 minutes away from me and create fitness content. And that was my summer. And at the end of the summer, I end up landing in a dream internship with Cuts Clothing. And when that ended up happening, because shout out Cuts, because I was like busting my for the whole entire summer, like just not even hanging out with my friends, nothing. Then to land that internship at the end of the summer, like I wanted to cry because I was working so hard. And then I just had so much momentum. My head was clear. I was like, I'm ready to really just elevate my life and just start making those strides to get to where I want to be. And that was really like the turning point, was all those negative comments towards me, and then me kind of feeling that, realizing that, and leaving it. And for people watching, like if you are around negative, toxic people, you need to get out of it. Yeah. You need to block them out of your life and start focusing on you and surround yourself with people that want to help build you. Because people that are above you, they do not, like, they'll be happy if you're trying to go and achieve your dreams or try to do something. But people below you, what they're gonna do is just talk about you because they have nothing better to do. But it's like, hey, at least I'm trying. Yeah. At least I'm trying to do something rather than you just sitting there on your ass, just watching, consuming my content. Maybe if it's weird, I don't care. At least I'm trying. Sorry, I cursed. But
dude, I told you no cursing in the pot. I'm just kidding. It's funny because I was just talking about that whole topic of people above you don't really care enough to give you real advice, and people below you, they're just mad because they're not you, right? There's an old saying, like, people love success but hate successful people. And it's funny too, because the other thing is that I've learned, and I'm sure you've seen this as you like have built your team out, like you can ask everybody for advice on things, but no one actually knows you and your life and your career as well as you do. Like everyone gives you advice through their lens, but they don't see it the way you see it. How do you balance that with, like, now that you've blown up so quickly and you got millions of followers and you're making real money now and it's gone like that overnight? How do you balance, like, who's on your team, who do you keep close to you, who do you listen to? Because now, I mean, I've been there too. Like everyone wants to reach out and be part of your team, and everyone, your DMs are packed with, hey, I'm an agent, or hey, I'm a marketing guy, or hey, I know and I can help. Hey, I'm an accountant, I'm a finance guy, I can manage your investments. Like, how do you decide who you take advice from and who you don't right now?
Keep my circle small. Like I was always friends with like everyone. I still am, but as time has gone on, I only talk to throughout my day a couple people.
Yeah.
Like I don't need to talk to everyone. I just talk to a couple people that I know, have had the experience, have been by my side for a while, and that I trust. Yeah. I'm still friends and friendly with, all these people that I've grown up with or people outside of that. Like, that's just who I am as a person. I'm just always been a sociable guy. But now with everything going on, and I'm sure you probably have the same thing. Like you probably only talk to a couple people on a daily basis.
Yeah, yeah. I think one thing that I've had to do is like cut down on how many people. I used to be a guy that like wanted to get advice from everybody, or like maybe even at one point like I would seek approval from everybody, right? And I'm sure like Stevie behind the camera is like one of my closest friends. Like I'm sure he would agree. Like there was a point where everything I did, I would ask everybody like, what do you think about this? Do you like this post? When I was getting started, dude, when I started posting content, everyone was getting the video and everyone would give me different feedback. I love it. And then I really do think that posting on social media as much as I do, like changed my perspective as I don't care as much anymore, people think, because I'm so out there anyway that like if there's videos I look terrible in, there's videos I look great in, there's videos I don't like, there's videos that like you got to stop listening to everybody else, and you don't need approval from everybody else. But that's a flaw. That's a flaw I think a lot of successful people have. Is I know personally I have a deep desire to be admired, and like that's a strength and a weakness, right? I want to be great, partially because I want other people to think that about me, but I need to use that as a strength and not allow it to affect my mental health and my psyche, right?
Yeah, I think it's just post.
Yeah.
Like just put the content out. If you like your content, go and put it out. And the more content you put out, you can kind of pick and choose, all right, what content's hitting, what content isn't hitting, and then you just go with the content that you think.
It's a Gary Vee model, yeah.
Basically, it's just like trial and error. And like for myself, I have posted videos to me, like dancing trends, to professional content, to just me pulling out my phone and going, yo, what up, it's Brad here. Like I'm going and taking people throughout my day. Yeah. And I think right now, some people overcomplicate things. And I think for myself and my growth, it was just me being me, showing my personality. Yeah. And I think me just being raw, authentic, people can resonate with it. Yeah. Like I'm not hiding who I am. Like I am upfront, straightforward with like the content that I put out. Yeah. And that's why I think it's been going really well and it's been successful, because I just don't care what other people think. And I just am me on TikTok. Like I'll be out in public. Someone will see me for the first time in person. They're like, yo, like, you are literally just like that guy that I see on the camera. I'm like, yeah, like I'm not putting on a fake facade.
That is an amazing quality you have of, again, being around you for a decent amount now, like you have a great ability to interact with anybody. You know, sometimes I find myself like putting my hood up and like, not that I'm like getting recognized like that, but like just trying not to talk to anybody. Like I'm on a plane, I'm just like, don't talk. Like I'm just trying to get on my day. You like seek out people. If you see someone looking at you, I've noticed this, and they're afraid to go up to you, you'll go to them and you'll be like, hey, I'm Brad Kraut.
Yeah, because
and I'm like, and you knew they knew who you were, but they were afraid to say something to you.
It's so awkward because sometimes I'll be like walking and I'll see people like eyeing me down, looking at me, and I'm like, all right, like, should I approach them? Should I not? And then most of the times I'm like, all right, I'm just gonna go up to them and be like, yo, what up? Like, I'm Brad, like, nice.
You
and
did it
like,
in the airport today, in LAX,
Yeah, and it's just really cool to be able to do that. And I think a lot of people just like enjoy it. Like, it's fun. Like, again, I always tell people like, and something that I've just been living by, and I got it from my brother, is, yo, life's not that deep. Like, I feel like people always try to overcomplicate things. And it's just not that deep. You just go through it, and you know it is what it is. And
the reality is, like, despite maybe the things all of us have going on and stuff, like you are living a life right now that very, very few people ever get to live. And does that ever hit you? Like you're on the brink of stardom. You may already be a star, depending on who you ask and what the metric is. But I mean, that's a life that you're in the 0.0001%.
Yeah, it was. So I will say, like, I'm gonna be completely transparent with everyone. I burnt myself out.
Yeah.
So like from early September leading up to Thanksgiving in November, my life was a sprint.
You were traveling every
I was traveling every single weekend. Like I was going out on the weekend, having a good time, like every single weekend, just not giving my body rest. And eventually it caught up to me, but I wanted that experience and I needed to take on every opportunity because that's how I was able to grow so fast, was because I was just going, and eventually I just kind of, put my body to shit, and I kind of started to like deteriorate a little. But I learned a lot about myself during that time. And one thing that I really learned was to just like, when I look back on it, was just be like grateful for everything, because there was a point in time, after all my travel and everything, my followers and stuff did start to like kind of decline on TikTok. I wasn't getting that instant gratification that was happening, where every time I posted,
your phone.
every time I was posting before, I was getting hundreds of thousands of views, videos were blowing up. And then it came to a point where my videos weren't like getting pushed on the algorithm anymore. And it started like getting into like my head, and and this is where I really started to open up and like see the reality of like social media and like the ups and the downs of it. And I was like totally like in the downs of it. And I was like, wow, like this kind of sucks right now, but it's like, all right, like it is what it is. I started talking to other social media influencers, and they're like, dude, Brad, this happens to everyone. Like, it's not just gonna be a life high forever.
It happened to me too. Yeah, there was a day that I used to get 250,000 views on every video I posted, and then. So
how did you like walk through? Like, how did you go through that?
I mean, to be honest, it definitely affects you, because you start questioning like your strategy.
Yes.
You're like, am I doing the right thing?
Should I stop posting?
Yeah.
Like, should I post less?
Yeah. Am I doing the right kind of videos? Like, to be honest, I chalked it up almost to like the algorithm, and was able to like deflect it into like, oh, that's just TikTok. Because then on the opposite though, like my Instagram started popping off when it wasn't before. So it almost like flipped. My Instagram started getting more views and my TikTok went down. It is tough as a creator though, because like your livelihood almost is like,
it's like, this is your life.
That's your life, is like you built this like, and if you're posting a video that you put all this time in and it gets 3,000 views and you expect it to get 200,000, you're like, what I just do all that for?
Yeah.
And it is a battle that I'm sure every creator.
Everyone definitely battles through it, but I'm happy that I did go through that, because I needed it. Because what was happening to me was like, dude, I grew my page from 42,000 followers to over 500,000, and like
it was almost too fast.
And way too fast. And it like the next thing I know, I was like, oh, like the semester's already over.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, like, what just happened?
Yeah.
Like, what just happened?
Yeah, it's almost like, have you seen the Alex Earl girl on TikTok?
Dude,
her people are saying like something bad has to be coming because she's gone too big too fast.
I think she just hit 1 million on Instagram too right now as well. And it's like crazy to see that, but the reason why she is also blowing up too is because she's showing her true self, her true personality. Yeah. And I think right now on social media, the overarching theme right now is showing personality, showing who you are. It's like, if you want to build a personal brand, storytell. Because if you can storytell, people will be able to resonate with your story. And that's, I feel like, at least in my experience, I'm not a marketing guru or everything, but it's just through my experience, this is what people have resonated with me, was just through my story.
Yeah. Well, let me ask you this. What do you think is your biggest strength and your biggest weakness?
I think my biggest strength right now, along the lines of what?
Life. It's up for you to interpret.
I think my biggest strengths right now is having a positive attitude towards life.
Love it. Yeah.
Because if you go into your day, if you go into your week, if you go into the year with the mindset of, this is going to suck, or just another year, 2023, your year is going to suck. But if you go into your year, if you go into your day, if you go into the week, like, yeah, I have 4 meetings Monday, 2 meetings, and you're fired up about it and you're ready to attack it.
It's your whole motto.
It's all in your mind. Yeah. If you go into it fired up, jacked up, psych yourself out about it, you will go in and have an unreal week. And that's what because obviously I will still get, if I have a big interview coming up, I will get the butterflies, but it's good to be nervous because it just shows that you're really excited about it.
Yeah. Like you were nervous for this, right? Yeah.
Not ever, no. but you get what I'm saying. It's, if you just go into it with a positive mindset, positive attitude, I believe that you can go and conquer anything.
Yeah.
And I think my weakness right now is, I think, showing appreciation in a sense. I'll open up about this because my life has been so crazy the past 2-3 months. Mm-hmm. And it's sometimes I forget about some of the people that have been there and that have helped me get to where I am. Mm-hmm. And I feel like for me, going into 2023, I'm holding myself accountable to make sure I reach out to those people. It doesn't need to be every day, but check in every week or every so often, because without these people, I wouldn't be where I am now. Yeah. And I think that's definitely one of my weaknesses. And my brothers were honing in on it. We had a meeting the other day and they were pounding me about it. And I want to be able to, openly talk about it. Yeah. But obviously nobody's perfect. There's always things that people can work on. And that's definitely one thing I want to work on. And I want to, because it's something that I even preach too, is always be a good, genuine, good person, right? And it's if I'm saying that, I better be, doing that as well.
What's kind of the next step in your whole brand development? Is it you're building kind of your business now around it? You're dropping merch. You have a couple of the other projects you've told me about that you're working on. What's kind of the next step and where do you want it to go? Next
step. So I had the opportunity to talk to Reed. He manages Mr. Beast and a ton of big time YouTubers and creators. And in this conversation, he was just telling me kind of still use TikTok. Basically every creator will have a platform that's a catalyst for them. So my platform was TikTok that kind of had my spike, helped me start building a true following. But from he was just saying, if you can hone in on YouTube and go all in on YouTube and create a business on YouTube and build a community on YouTube, that is that you can actually that's long term. You can actually make a career out of that. And going into 2023, my main focus is going to be podcasting and YouTube. Mm-hmm. I'm really excited for YouTube because I do want to spice it up a bit on YouTube, where right now, I'm obviously doing athlete collaborations, which is awesome. It's fun. But now I want to think about it. Mr. Beast, Steve Will Do It. How did Mr. Beast and Steve Will Do It blow up on YouTube?
Consistency.
Okay, that's one.
I mean, entertaining content.
Okay, that's two.
What's the third?
All the dollars they were making, they were putting back into their videos.
They were putting. I mean, Steve will do it.
Steve would go to the casino, make millions of dollars, and then go buy a fan of Ferrari.
Yeah.
Those videos would go crazy. And it just makes it more. So for me, I want to be able to, the money that I'm making, put into my videos, and I want to be able to, I just had like I was like, all right, how can I take this model that like Mr. Beast and Steve will do it, we're kind of using, and how can I tie in like the athlete collaboration? So now what I want to do is do like athlete collaboration, but tie in me competing against someone in the student body in that sport for a cash prize. Yeah. Make it super entertaining. Yeah. Like when if money's on the line, like I'm competing against someone, I get competitive. And I know people out there like don't think I'm athletic and they think, you know, I'm just like this 5'6" kid that just lifts weights. Like no, like I can move, like I'm athletic. So that's why I'm really excited to kind of showcase my skills and compete against other people. And I truly think these YouTube videos can do really well and they'll be really entertaining for people.
I would love to compete against you in one of these. Can I get involved?
Yeah, what would you want to compete against me in?
I mean, I would beat you in anything, so.
What about bowling?
Oh, I'd beat you in bowling.
You're nice at bowling?
Yeah, nice at bowling, ping pong.
All right, let's pick it. Hey, why don't we say, comment below. What would you guys want to see me and, let us know. What would you want to see me and AB compete in?
I think too, maybe like one-on-one football. Like
what? You're tight end. I'm like a D-back, and I guard
some routes.
Do you still have it? I know you're. How old are you now? Like 42.
Relax. So remember when you remember we were at where were we at Penn State and they brought the sign out? What was that bar called? Well, they brought the sign out that said Grandpa. Yeah.
That was.
I would change my TikTok name to
Grandpa. Yeah.
I like that. That's good.
But yeah, so YouTube, and then really just building a foundation. Because if you can build a foundation, you can really start and do anything, and you have these people that want to support anything that you do. And that's really what I've wanted my whole life, was to build my personal brand as big as it can get. Yeah. So I can go and start, you know, any business that I am passionate about and that I want to do, and it can be successful because of the person.
Like what all those guys, like the Nelk boys, can do anything and it will pop off. Anything in the men's.
Because you already have like the marketing and branding for it.
That's the funny thing about TikTok, though. And both of us have kind of had our come up on TikTok.
Yeah,
a little bit. That's kind of where a lot of my attention started. TikTok's a hard platform to convert on because of the For You page. Because just because you follow someone, you don't necessarily see their content, and like you're not as bought in. And I'd love to hear your thoughts on that. We're like YouTube's different.
I'm gonna say something real quick, and I'll tell people this. So I remember I released academic weapon flags, like a merch, and I remember Darren like put them live on the website. I think there were like 250 of them live on the website, but I didn't do like any marketing behind it. Maybe I just put like a story up, like, hey, I have academic weapon flags. No sales really coming in. But then I made a TikTok in my 700-person lecture, and the video went viral, and the flags were live, and people were going nuts over these flags. And because of that video, it got like 1.1 million views. I sold 250 flags in like 5 hours. Yeah. But it was because of the power of TikTok. Yeah. But it's hit or miss. Yeah. It really is like hit or miss. But I feel like that could really be with like any platform too. Yeah. So it's like if you're working with a company and you have a brand deal and they're expecting hundreds of thousands of views, it's like, dude, it's like, hey, like, I'm sorry, but I can't control the algorithm right now. It's like, yes, I have other videos that have done millions of views. And now that, you know, I signed a brand deal with you guys and I put this content out, I'm sorry that it only got 20 to 30,000 views and not the 100,000 views that, you know, I might have pitched myself on like, oh, my videos are doing well, but it's like, hey, like, here are my analytics, here's everything. Like, have you had any like problems with that, like working with any brands or anything where, I mean, like they expect something and then it's like the video didn't perform as well and you're like, I mean, I can only control so much. Yeah, well, I think the new trend right now in TikTok because of that problem is the Spark ads. And like people, what's Spark ads? Brands are doing where like they run, have you seen like ads on your page where like it says like sponsored or sponsored, yeah. But it's not a brand's page, it's coming from a creator's page. Like I see it all the time with like, I mean a bunch of like, I just saw Alex Earl did it and now Addison Ray, all these because brands will pay you, like I just did a deal with Great Clips. And shout out Great Clips for the cut. Looks fresh. And they paid me. Stevie's got good hair. Dude, Why are you ever wearing a hat?
Dude, we may have the best looking video dudes of all time.
Dude, you have amazing hair.
Come show the camera your hair, dude.
Yeah, can you show the camera your hair?
Dude, show them your hair.
Stevie.
Dude, Brad, but I'll tell you this and I'll go back to my great clip story. We're doing a pod with the Clemson football players, right? With the 8 defensive linemen on the Clemson team. It's a sick pod. We got whole setup, it's fire. And we're sitting there and these guys are behind the camera and I'm talking to the dudes and they're which player was it, Rook?
It was the bull in the tracksuit that was sitting like...
I forget his name. One of the Clemson football players, we're sitting there and I'm talking and he just goes, hold up. And he points at Steve, he goes, he's got a fire outfit on right now. Bro, what were you wearing
Stevie's
again?
that guy.
He's that guy,
Stevie's
bro.
that
And
guy.
they're all like, oh, this dude's fresh. In the middle of the podcast. I'm like, so funny. Anyway.
Sponsored ads. TikTok.
So my deal with Great Clips was I make a video, I post the video, but on my page, they have the right to run ads with it through my page.
I mean, that's good for you because then it gets you more exposure.
So I posted it. It might have gotten, it's an ad. So like ads
they're putting dollars into it.
So yeah, so ads don't normally do well. It was an ad. It was like, what's up? I'm Adam Brenneman. My place to go to is Great Clips. Like that video is not going to pop off on TikTok.
Yeah.
It'll do decent. I think it got like 20,000 views just from me.
Okay.
15,000, something like that, which is good. But then
they pump dollars into it.
There's a code. TikTok allows you to do it. There's a code you give the brand, and I can decide how long they have to use it. So I gave them a month, and then they can put as much money as they want behind it to run ads to whoever they want through my account. So the ad says from Adam Brenneman 81's page, my Great Clips account, paid partnership, and they're running ad dollars on it. So instead of the ad being on the Great Clips page,
it's on your page.
So TikTok calls it Spark ads. That's the new trend in TikTok because brands are realizing that we're paying this influencer to make an ad, but no one sees it because the TikTok algorithm's good
Picks
enough
it up
to know it's an ad, so they don't push it to all the followers. So that's the new. I've done like. Honestly, that's what most of my deals, like if I do a deal now, most of them want to be able to put ads behind it because in case, if they invest a bunch of money in it, they're paying me thousands of dollars and the video doesn't do well. It's like they want to be able to put $500 behind it and make sure people see it.
I also think it's really important too, like obviously with my experience in athlete marketing as well, I was always trying to set my athletes up with a unique / creative type of like feel / like, touch, like the videos that they would do with brands rather than, I don't know. I just think it's so boring when someone just posts up like a picture of like whatever, like Degree deodorant. It's just like a picture of them and they do hashtag ad. Like I think it's really cool to spice it up and like maybe like storyline it or like think of something like cool or creative that you can do with the athlete. And now like obviously with creating, now that I'm kind of like a social influencer myself, and if I'm doing like a brand deal, I'd like to add like an organic, authentic feel / touch to the videos going out there.
Yeah, you got a brand deal here with Mercury.
Yeah, that's right. Shout out Mercury. Seriously,
shout out Porter.
Shout out Porter's that guy. I want to say guy. Porter's that guy.
He's so cool.
He's all, like I just remember hopping on the call with Porter and Adam.
Porter's the CEO of Mercury.
Yeah,
by the way.
Literally just talking, and I was like, dude, like. He's him.
Dude, you know what's funny? He is him. You know what's funny is I know Porter isn't a big TikTok guy, right? Like he's not like scrolling through TikTok every day like we are. And I was telling him about you, and then I guess he was in the office when he was on the call with you. And I guess a bunch of people in the office were like, when he got off, was like, is that the academic weapon? And he was like, who is this guy? And then after that, he was like, I'm all in, let's use him.
Yeah, we hit it off on the call, and then obviously, we already talked about how we've been wanting to do something for like 3 months. Penn State made the Rose Bowl. We jump on this call, hit it off, and Adam's like, yo, like, Mercury's just gonna send you, one of your camera guys out to the Rose Bowl, have a blast, create awesome content, bring the energy to the Penn State fans, to the Penn State community. Go Penn State! Go State! Penn State's taking this thing. Obviously, this is going to be posted after, I'm going to assume, right?
Yeah.
After this game. My prediction right now, 28-24 Penn State. Nick Singleton, 2 touchdowns. Katron Allen, 1 touchdown.
I've shown it so many times.
Sean Clifford, touchdown pass to Bretton Strange to make it 28 points right there.
Bretton Strange going to the NFL, too.
He's going to the league. Oh, yeah, talk about him. Because you're obviously,
dude, the Penn State tight end room is probably one of the best. Is probably second best in the country behind Georgia, who has Darnell Washington and Brock Bowers.
Yeah.
Those 3 dudes Brenton Strange, Theo Johnson, and Tyler
Tyler.
Warren, the sleeper that no one talks
Yeah.
about. Listen to me right now. All three of them will get drafted. I've seen a lot of good tight ends. All three of those dudes. Warren has more time. Did Theo Johnson declare?
No.
I think he's got another year, right?
Yep.
All three of those dudes will play in the NFL. Like elite tight end room. Coach Franklin's done a great job. Ty Howell, their tight ends coach, who I play with at Penn State, has done a great job recruiting. They just signed 3 more tight ends, like tight end factory. I mean, they've had some great ones now, man. They've had some good tight ends.
I mean, I'm gonna be out of there after this year.
Where when you're done, you leave
Yeah.
college. Where are you going? New York City.
Everyone's asking me.
LA.
No,
This
I'm not.
Airbnb?
I'm not coming to LA. However, I do think I need to live out here for like 6 months. Like, I just think living out here, if I can surround myself with the right people, get in with the right people, like it could be a great experience. But again, I was out here in February with Will for the Cut Super Bowl party. And that weekend, I felt like it took like 3 years off my life because it was like going to like one event to the next event. And you're always on the move, like networking, meeting people, which is really good. Like, I love it. And I learned a lot about myself during those times of like, how I was so confident going up to high profile people with like so much confidence. Like, I even have on my phone too. This is a networking tip out there for all you young guys, even young professionals too. Every person I would go up to, I would say, whatever, I'm Brad Kraut. I'm a student at Penn State working for Cuts Clothing, seeing all the work that you've done, like kind of how have you gotten to where you are now? They kind of tell their journey, be like, I'm a young 21-year-old kid just trying to learn. And like immediately when you say that, like you're a 21-year-old kid, you're in college and that you want to learn, their eyes open and they absolutely love it. They're like, hey, give me your phone. Like, I literally got like some really cool people's numbers, literally from just saying I'm in college and I'm willing to learn. And so many kids, I feel like now just like want to like go into a job and like get paid, or if it's like, yo, like if you're in college, you should really, and I want to hear your input on this too. I feel like as a freshman, like, you just want to gain experience, whatever it may be, because just one internship your junior year is not going to cut it for you. Like that one internship, you're not going to be able to decide what you want. Like, obviously you're going to be pressured into doing that job. Like, hopefully you get a return offer and that's the job you do because of the societal pressure. Excuse me, I burped. Because of that societal pressure. But in reality, you need to have multiple experiences while being in college to really figure out what you want to do. And everything that I'm doing and preaching, it's because I've had experiences since freshman year all the way up to now where they were real experiences, like outside of my academics, balancing it. So it teaches you also time management too. And that's why I'm able to do what I'm doing now. And I really want to just have an impact like on these kids coming into college and like being like a role model, being someone that has been through it and then sharing my knowledge and sharing my experiences with them and trying to motivate them to be like, hey, don't just do your academics. Like, try to get involved with something right away once you get to a college campus because the more people you know, the more opportunity will come your way. And just the more opportunities you have, you'll be able to really figure out what you want to do by the time you're a senior. And I feel like the education system kind of lacks this, and they're just get your internship, your junior, or you're not qualified yet. It's like, dude, like, I don't need a qualification. I just need to be willing to learn and just be ambitious and a hustler and just wanting to, dive into something and just figure it out.
Yeah. I mean, the old saying about it's not what you know, it's who you know. Like, that's
it's not about the grades you make. It's about the hands you shake.
That's even better. We've shaken some great hands. I think you just threw me off when you got up.
Sorry.
Dude, I lost my train of thought. When he came over to shake my hand, I was like, what is he doing?
The education system.
Education system.
It's not about the grades you make. It's about the hands you shake. It's not about what you know. It's about who you know.
I'm thrown off, dude.
It's not about what you know. It's about who you know.
I'm thrown off. I had a great story I was just about to tell. I just forgot what it was.
Try to figure it out.
We're going to need to cut this out.
No, this is good. This is good. No, I stunned him. I stunned him.
Had an absolute brain fart. Here's
Let's go. We got it.
Let's go. Okay.
All right, let's rock.
So
no, this is good. I love raw. I love raw.
The blue
Show it raw.
Bro, Brad scares me. So here, you were talking about meeting people.
Yes, networking.
Something I've
opportunities.
Something I've done in the last year of
Let's
my
add
life.
some value to people. Let's do it.
Something I've done the last year of my life. This one thing that I've done has changed my life more than anything else. Every single day, maybe not on the weekends, but every single weekday, I do 5 new reach outs to people. 5 cold emails, Instagram DMs. You can ask one of my best friend, Ben Kunkel. I tell him all the time, like, dude, you got to do 5 reach outs a day. I do 5 reach outs a day, Instagram DMs, Twitter DMs, cold emails, LinkedIn DMs to brands, especially now that I'm in media, that I'm doing broadcasting, to like media executives, to agents, to players that we want to partner with at Mercury. I just like will cold reach out to 5 people a day. I get responses about 2 to 3 out of the 5, right?
Are you doing it on the weekend too?
No, I do it during the
Monday to Friday.
Sometimes during the weekend, but Monday to Friday for sure.
So
and I'm telling you,
20 reach outs.
the amount of opportunities that have come up, insane. Every brand deal I've gotten, most brand deals I do are me reaching out to them.
All right, so my question to you is, how do you structure it? Like if someone
There's
is
no
like,
structure.
all right, no, I'm saying it's like, if I'm a student, I'm like, all right, I hear this now. I'm like, all right, Adam, like, what do I say to these brands? What do I say to these people? Give them the secret sauce.
I'm gonna read you what I said.
Okay, let's hear it.
Like literally, I'll just rip a DM and be like, hey, I'm Adam Brenneman. I'm a college football analyst, content creator, work with Mercury, blah, blah, blah. Would love to talk and pick your brain. I normally phrase it the way you talked about getting advice. I normally say if it's a person that like is high in their career, media executive, for example, like that's how I like start talking to different media networks. Like, hey, I just love to pick your brain about my career. And a lot of them are like admire what you've done, and you gotta like don't BS it. Like if you actually admire it, tell them like I admire what you've done, what you built. I love to pick your brain. And so many things like, dude, I've been talking to a brand right now for like a huge partnership, probably the biggest one I've ever done, and it came from me just cold LinkedIn DM. Hey, love what you guys are doing. I have 250,000 followers across platform. I'd love to talk to you. Email the next day. Call with their VP of marketing the next day.
Dude, I'll tell you this. When I was doing the athlete marketing, because again, when I was doing athlete marketing, I was just thrown into it to just try to figure it out.
Yeah.
Like obviously I worked with cuts, so I had experience on like working on the brand side of things, getting athletes cuts clothing, thinking of, cool creative ways on how we can get these college athletes to promote cuts on their college campuses. Great experience. Then when I went on the agency side of things, now I was the one trying to get in contact with brands.
Yeah.
So
brands are hard to get in contact with.
So you saying like 5, excuse me, I burped again. It's the Red Bull. I think I was doing like 50, like 50 like a week, probably even more. And at a certain point, I was kind of getting like unmotivated.
Because you don't hear back.
Because you don't hear back, and you're putting in all this effort, and you're like, oh, am I wasting my time? And I remember like in the summer, like it was tough, and I was like kind of contemplating, because I was like kind of low. I was doing like working 60, 70-hour weeks, like just grinding. Like this was my future. Like I want to be the best in the sports industry. Like that was on my mind, and it was like nothing will get in my way. I'm gonna keep going. But like it came to a point where I was kind of contemplating everything. I was like, wow, like I kind of want to go home, go down the shore with my friends, like have a good time. But I was like, you know what? Like let's just continue to stick with it. And then I stuck with it. And there was light at the end of the tunnel. I started closing like brand deals left and right, building great relationships with some cool like platforms that bring athletes on to do brand deals. And I started building great relationships with people, but I just stuck with it, and I just continued to like believe it, like in myself and my ability. And it finally like clicked. Yeah. And it's like, I feel like so many people will give up on themselves too soon because they don't see the instant gratification.
Yeah.
But it doesn't happen overnight. You need to continue to chip away and grind at it. And I'm sure you've been through some things along your journey with being an elite tight end to being a coach to now going into media, and you're literally only 27 years old. That's a lot to do.
Stop saying only, because you call me old all the time.
I did, but but like that's a lot.
Yeah.
So kind of like talk me through like your mindset of playing as an elite Division I athlete to being a coach to now you're doing social media. Like when you decided to do social media, like what did your parents think? What did your friends think? Were they making fun of you?
Honestly, I think I had most people supported me. And that was, at that point, I was also in the phase where I was asking everybody what their opinion was about it. But I'll be honest.
So why do you think you were asking that?
I don't know. I didn't really know what I wanted to do. I mean, I had just coached for 2 years. I had played. I kind of felt like I was almost at like an identity crisis of I felt like I could be really good at a million different things. I felt like I could do, and I think a lot of people have that struggle. Like it's like I could go be an amazing sports agent. I could go to law school and be a lawyer. I could go be a CEO. I could keep coaching. I could go on TV. Like, what do I want to do? And it's funny, dude. I met with Coach Franklin. I never forget this conversation. 2 years ago, I went to meet with Coach Franklin, but 3 years ago probably, before I got into coaching. I remember I texted Coach Franklin, who's been amazing throughout my career, and I said, I don't know what I want to do. I think I may want to coach. Will you meet with me and talk about it? This was like a Friday. I texted him that. He said, are you free Sunday morning? And he's like, where are you in Harrisburg? I was like, I'm in Harrisburg. He's like, drive to State College, meet with me Sunday morning. Sunday morning, it was like winter time. I met with him in his office, met with him for like an hour in like 2020. It was right before COVID started. And I remember I said to him, I know that I could be good at so many different things. I'm 24, 23. I don't know what I want to do. Like, I don't know what I want to get into. And you know what he said to me? He said, Adam, that's not just a you issue. Every successful person in the world could be good at a million different things. He was like, I could have been a CEO of a company. I could have been an athletic director. I could have been like, he went to the school for psychology or something. I could have been like, everybody that's successful has to pick what they want to do. And it like changed my perspective. I used to be like, feel bad for myself almost. Like, I don't even know I could do so many different things.
So have you always liked media?
So I did. So I did media a little bit when I stopped playing. And then I got a coaching itch. I was like, I want to be in football. I want to be a head coach. Like, I was still kind of figuring it out. I went to ASU with Herm Edwards and all those guys. Was there for 2 years. And when I left ASU in February, what really drove me to me, there was a few things. I remember the Pat McAfee thing having a big effect on me. And not that I don't even do the kind of content that Pat McAfee does, but like seeing a former player who
started having like an impact, started like making like funny videos and like being entertaining.
And then his deal with FanDuel was like $120 million. I was like, whoa. I was like, so like athletes are getting into this.
There's money, yeah.
And it's recent that like the whole age of like athlete-driven media is now getting bigger. Like Draymond Green hosting his own podcast. And I remember that happening and then started thinking about it. And then I remember seeing like other people do content and I was like, dude, I have had more college football experiences than anyone my age. I was a 5-star recruit. I had an offer from every single school in the country. I mean, Stevie was there when I was in high school. Every coach in America came to our high school. Urban Meyer, Brian Kelly, Joe Paterno. I mean, literally everyone. What are you laughing about? Am I lying?
No, you're not.
I mean, literally and then I was an All-American at 2 different schools. I transferred, went through the portal, Penn State and UMass. I was in the Senior Bowl. I was in the NFL draft, but got hurt. And then I was a coach. I was a Power 5 coach. So there's not a level of college football I haven't been at the top level of. So I felt like in the college football space, in college sports, I had a unique voice that I could talk about anything. There aren't many people that can go on a TikTok and say, I was a Power 5 coach, I was an All-American, I was a 5-star recruit. I've been all those. So when I decided to go all in on it, I had a differentiator in college football. If you've noticed, I don't talk about the NFL. I really don't do anything about the NFL. I talk college football because that's my differentiator.
That's you.
That's me. I lived college football at a high level, as high as anyone at all different levels. So that's when I went all in on it, and I was like, dude, I could do this, and I can do content. I can be on TV. I can be an entrepreneur. I can build my own business. I can build my own media stuff and brand deals. I can build Mercury. I can do it all. And I love that because I've always had like entrepreneurial itch. Like you're building something every single day. I have a team that works for me. You know, Noah, my content manager, our team at Mercury, our video guys, like you're now responsible for people. You're paying people. I have a payroll. I have to meet, if I don't make enough money that month, I can't make payroll. You know what I mean? Like, and you feel this, you're paying people now. Like, it really filled the itch for me. And when I went all in and had some success, I just called it the bug. Like when my first video hit 1 million views, I was like,
you're going nuts.
I'm in.
Yeah, you're like, this is it. Because it's a feeling that is like, you can't even like describe. Like you just like get juiced up. You're like, Let's keep firing away at content. Let's keep pushing out. All right, cool. If I post 10 times, cool. Maybe like one will hit, but you just gotta keep like pumping it. Like you just pump.
And that's the thing. You've been our relationship's been great because like you motivate me. Like you even text me. Remember you texted me like,
write your goals down.
Why aren't you posting 10 times a day?
Or that,
and you'll be like, what are your goals?
Yeah.
Like send me your goals. So you're like, write them down.
Accountability.
Yeah,
I think accountability is huge. And people that now are tight in my circle, like I will do that with them. Or I'll be like, I want them to try to make me better and send me, like, yo, Brad, like, why, dude, you slacked today. Why'd you get up at 10 a.m.? Why didn't you get up at 5, like you say, and kick the sheets? Like,
I mean, you better get up at 5 every day.
I'm like, respect. Like, all right, call me out.
So I want to do a few questions with you that I like to ask a lot of people. I end interviews with these questions a lot, but I'm curious.
Oh wait, we have to end the interview. We have to end this.
We're not ending it yet. I normally end with these questions, but this will be another 30 minutes because you're gonna run with these. Okay.
Oh Jesus.
So these are some questions just to find out like who you are a little deeper. So I've used these a lot. If you've done any research on any interviews I've done, you probably heard I've asked these to Will Levis and stuff. All right. So first one. Take me through the first 30 minutes of your morning.
All right, it's Monday. I will wake up around between 5 and 5:30. Mm-hmm. I kick my bed sheets off of my bed. I will have my phone in front of me, recording myself. So my alarm goes off. I grab my phone. I go right on Snapchat. So I actually film my content on my Snapchat, save it to my memories, and then download it to my camera roll and then post it on like TikTok or IG Reels, because on Snapchat, I can like have it here like, what's up guys, it's Monday morning, get up and attack the day, kick the sheets, and I'll kick them, and then like I'll like double click it and it will point to like my sheets, have my flag, I get up and then I double click it back, I put it on myself, and then I can put it down and jog in place. So I'll take my phone out, kick my bed sheets, get out of bed. It depends, like if it's a Wednesday, if it's hump day, I normally play like My Humps and I'll do like a little dance to wake up in the morning. It really depends. If it's Thirsty Thursday, I'll put on some like EDM in the morning. Monday, mostly like Monday motivation. But kick the bed sheets, get up out of bed, do push-ups, jumping jacks, run in place. Right after, I always go wash my face with water. Right after I eat a pickle or two.
A pickle?
Yeah.
Why a pickle?
For the pump. Because like the sodium or something in pickle. Okay, yeah, like if you eat pickles, it makes you like.
Have you heard that before?
I'm actually getting that shit from
pickle.
A pickle pump. That Steve doesn't work out. But yeah, so I'll eat like
he's too good looking. He doesn't need
So I'll eat like a pickle or two. I'll drink my pre-workout. I eat 2 to 3 rice cakes. Sometimes I put peanut butter on them. Sometimes I don't. And then drink some water as well. And then my ride, so I don't have a car at school. I just spin bike everywhere. I actually hit a deer at Penn State when I was a sophomore. I don't want to talk about that. And then my ride normally comes, picks me up, and then I head right to the gym. And typically Monday mornings, I just feel like different. Like there's just something different about waking up like before other people, and like, especially in the morning, like, I just have no distractions.
And there's nothing, dude, when I try to work out at like 8 a.m., my phone's already going off.
You can't even focus.
Yeah, you gotta be early.
For me, my staple like in life is fitness and working out and pushing myself. Yeah. Like that is my staple. Whenever I'm at my peak and my best, it's because I'm consistently training. I'm consistently eating good food. Yeah. Like that's when I'm at my peak. And I'm gonna get off track, but when I was traveling a ton, like I was thrown off a lot. Yeah. And that's because I wasn't taking care of my body. Once I started taking care of my body again, and like now I haven't drank alcohol in 3 weeks. Like I feel on top of the world, like I'm eating good, I'm working out. Like I feel
hard when you're traveling.
I feel it. Like I feel powerful right now. So then I'll go to the gym.
You look good.
Thank you. Yeah. Look good, feel good, perform good. And so then I'll go to the gym, and then I come back, shower. I like to meditate in my shower. So what I'll do is I'll shower up, like do like all my washing, scrubbing, and then I turn the shower like pretty hot. I'm not doing it cold, doing it hot. Turn my lights off, put my JBL speaker right next to the shower, like on my toilet, and I put on meditation music. I turn the lights off, like completely pitch dark. I lay back in my shower, put my legs up, and I just breathe. Like I go, set my timer on my phone for like 23 minutes. And I do that after I get up, turn the lights on and get dressed. And it's already like 8 a.m., 8:15, and I have the rest of my day to do whatever I need to get done. Workout's already complete, already done something productive, and I'm just on the move. I can set up a couple meetings if I have to. If I need if I need to film a couple videos, I can film a couple videos. Go to class, I go to class. Get my schoolwork done, get my schoolwork done. And it's a great way to start the morning. And ever since I started doing this, like it has changed my life completely.
That's an amazing routine. How consistent are you with doing that? Like, is it
I try to do it Monday to Thursday.
Got it.
I'll be on.
What happens Friday?
I go out Thursday night. Again,
Balance.
I'm real with people. Like, it's a balance. Like, I'm a college student. I'm 22 years old. Yeah, I'm going to go out on a Thursday. I might go out on a Friday. Might go out on a Saturday.
Might go out on a Sunday? Yeah.
No, I will not. I will not. But come Monday to Thursday, like, I'm going to try to get up at 5 and grind. Work hard, play hard.
Yeah.
Work hard, play hard. Because too many college students will just get consumed by the college atmosphere and, like, it'll just eat them up. That's all I got to say about that. Just eat them up.
Next one, you ready?
Born ready.
What's the best piece of advice you've ever received?
You don't know the taste of chocolate unless you taste it. Go out and taste as many things as you can, and then pick and choose what you like. From the Cuts founder, Stephen Borelli. He brought me, when I flew out to LA, when I got the internship, I took the initiative. I was like, hey, for my first week, I'm flying out and I want to work in the office. And flew out there, had an unreal experience. Because when I was out there, it was my first time going to like a corporate office or whatever. It wasn't really corporate. Like, you walk in, you don't have like a guy in a suit coming up to you like, who are you? It's like
Cuts.
It's like Steven comes up to you, he's like, yo, Brad. It's like fist bumps, it's like handshake, like dap ups. Like, yo, what up, Brad? Like, so stoked to have you. Shows me everyone. And like, Cuts is so successful because they have, the marketing team, they're great at what they do. The production team, they're good at what they do. Finance, they're good at what, like, every department is just good at what they do, and they don't like get in each other's ways, and they just help build each other. But it all starts from the top, and that's Steven. Steven is an absolute beast. Like, he's a winner. Like, he's someone that I look up to, and I'm just grateful that he gave me the opportunity to even work with them. And then when he brought me into his office for a one-on-one, he just said, like, Brad, you're so young right now. You're literally a 20-year-old kid. Like, you're out in LA, you're going to be, interning for us, working with us, running our college department. You might be passionate about this right now, but you're still so young. Like, you need to go try as many things as you can. And that stuck with me. And that's something that I preach to people, because if I would have never taken that advice, like, maybe I would have just stuck with Cuts, and I would have never had the agency experience and, other experiences that I had. But because he said that, I was like, all right, I work with Cuts, cool, respect. All right, let me go try working in an agency. Let me try this out. Let me go try to start my own brand or company. Let me see how that goes. And you just don't know unless you try it.
Yeah. What's something that surprised you recently?
I need to think on this one.
Well, we have all the time in the world.
I know. What's something that surprised me?
Was it a person? Was it a thing? These are supposed to make you think.
I don't know. Have you had other people, have you stumped people?
I mean, most people can think of something relatively quickly.
Really?
I mean, you've never been surprised recently? Trying to get deep, Bradley.
No, I know. All right. I think, for myself, and I think it's not really like a surprise, but it's more so just I guess it kind of is a surprise, but for myself, and even just talking to my brothers and stuff, they were saying, for me, because I always have a million things going on in my head, and just so much stuff, they want me to go see a therapist and talk to a therapist and talk out everything.
Yeah.
And I guess it is a surprise, you think, because I think people look at therapy of going in a negative way, oh, you have a ton of issues. But it's everyone, in my opinion, should go and see a therapist and talk about things going on in their life, because it will just help them power through it.
Yeah.
But I think that was definitely something that was surprising, but it's in a good way. It's not it's not like they're coming at me. They're like, Brad, you you have problems of you just are on go mode all the time. You need
same issue I have.
You need to talk to someone. You have to. And when they said that, I was my eyes open, but I was you know what? Honestly, I probably should. It will just I'll only benefit from it. I will.
Yeah.
We'll be, and I think like even like
I know
a ton
a lot of people who do it.
A lot of people do it. Like when you have so much on your mind and stress, and you're always going and doing, it's nice to just talk to someone to be able to hash out all your problems and everything. They can give you advice, walk you through it. Just soothing.
Yeah. All right, last couple. What gives you hope right now?
I think the people that I'm surrounded by. I think the people that are in my life right now that believe in me, it just motivates me to the extreme, and I can just see it. Like I can feel it, I can see it. And that's what is really giving me hope, is their belief in my ability to go and chase and do whatever I want.
Yeah, I love that. It's all about like the best part about being where you're at and like where we're going and building is like the people you get to bring with you.
That's
right? like dude, if you don't have anyone with you, like what's the point?
It's not fun. Like it's not even fun.
There's not even like a real point doing it. If you're just like at the end of the day, like if you don't have any friends, you don't have any boys, you don't have family that's with you, like you can make all the money in the world, but like you're just sitting in a massive house by yourself. You know,
it's true.
With
and
a
I've
cool
always
car
been
that no one else gets to sit in with you, and like, what's the point?
Yeah, and I'm a big people's person too, and it's like if I can bring someone with me, I'm doing it. Like it's more fun. It's like let's go do it. Let's help build each other up.
Yeah.
Like why not just me? No, it's like yo, Adam. Like let's do it. Let's go to the moon together. Why not?
Yeah, I'm all in. You know
I know you are. And this weekend we're really gonna be able to bond. So
I mean, think about all we've filmed a bunch of content. We've only been here for like 4 hours.
Yeah,
and we're already about to wrap
again,
up.
this is business.
Business trip.
Business trip. Obviously some fun here and there, but business.
Last one. I think that anyone who is a high achiever or successful in life, and you've been successful and you're obviously still super young, there's some kind of like external motivation, or there's a reason that you do what you do that's bigger than just yourself, or something that drives you more than just you. So what's your why? Like what's the reason that you do what you do, that you have the energy that you have all the time?
My dad. My dad has done everything for me ever since I was a young kid. For my brothers, always put me and my brothers first. And, you know, because of that and just growing up, and like now he's, you know, just like in a spot in his life where, you know, he's become kind of complacent and just like, you know, I'll be real with people. Like he sent me and my brothers to school. Like I'm grateful for that. Like I didn't have to pay for my college tuition.
Yeah.
And I'm extremely grateful for that. But seeing him do that, it just motivates me even more so I can do that for my kids and even beyond that. Like my whole like goal in life is to just create generational wealth. So like my kids have kids, they don't even have to worry. Like they have kids, they don't have to worry. And I will bust my ass so I can go and truly like make that happen.
Yeah.
But my dad is definitely one of the reasons why I'm doing what I'm doing right now. Is like he's done everything for me. Like when he's old and stuff, like I want to put him in a nursing home with the hottest nurse. Like that's my goal. Like that's what I'm doing. Like I will, you know, I want to do anything for him. And that's something that has definitely recently too has like fueled fire. And even just all the negative stuff in my past, like has definitely fueled fire in me. I had an incident where I went out to Florida last year, or no, in February, and my cousin tried like brainwashing me into his fraudulent like business. And going through that experience too was kind of traumatizing. And then finally like coming out of it, and my brother's really helping me like get out of that sticky situation. Like it just fueled fire in me. It was just like, I got pissed. It pissed me off. And when I get pissed off, I'm not gonna go fight or try to fight someone or anything. I'm gonna go and put that energy into building myself. Like I use negative connotation and put it into me, into just fueling so I could be that guy, so I can have that impact on society, so I could be super successful one day. That's what fuels Brad. Like that's, if like someone wants to talk behind my back or talk about me, like that's just only fueling me even more. Or going through a rough situation, or Like, you know, like my parents got divorced when I was at a young age, and like there was stuff that would go on. So it's like, that's the kind of stuff that like fuels me and makes me just want to keep going. And it's like, I'll do anything to really like make it happen. I block everything out, have that tunnel vision, keep that circle small, and just go for it.
I love it. I love it. That's all I got.
I just got deep.
That was good.
Yeah, that was deep.
That was great.
No, but
I think
like,
it's a great,
you had me like saying it, so I'm gonna say it on the pod.
I love it, man. I think I'm sure your dad's proud of where you're at right now.
He loves talking about me.
Enjoying the journey.
I think he loves it more than me.
Yeah,
he loves talking about it to
He's
people.
living vicariously through you right now. That's
Yeah.
awesome. Well, man, I appreciate it. I'm sure we'll have a lot more of these conversations as the weekend goes on. But,
Yeah,
but
100%.
Day one in LA.
Day one, let's go.
Love it.